Hey everybody, Chris with Clutter Reduction Junk Removal in Palm Beach County, Florida. Welcome to my garage's office, aka my little fold-out chair surrounded by all the crap we're trying to get rid of. I want to go ahead and talk about pricing for junk removal for those who are looking to get into this for 2026 as we approach the end of 2025. I also hope everybody has a good holiday season. I'm going to keep this short and sweet because we have other videos going into this with much more detail, which I will have linked in the description if you want to check it out. We have one specifically that everyone seems to really like. We also have a channel membership. It's 20 bucks and you can cancel whenever you want, but it has every video for everything you need to get started in junk removal if you live in the United States. So if you're interested, you can check that out. So in junk removal, there's a couple of ways you can charge. The most common is by volume of how much room it takes up in your truck. And we also charge by volume, but we do a mixture of volume and cubic yardage. What I personally like to do is I calculate the cubic yardage in my mind, and then I'll divide that into my truck size, because we may have a different vehicle with us. I might have my pickup truck, I might have a U-Haul the day of, or I might be using our trailer, and all of those have different sizes to them. So by charging by cubic yardage makes it a lot easier to divide that into it if you happen to have multiple vehicles of different sizes. We will also charge extra for extra time and or a hazardous situation. And that hazardous situation could just cost us a little bit more money because we need to get PPE equipment, or maybe it's going to negatively and potentially affect us, or maybe it's going to slow down the job with the extra precautions. And that extra time could be due to the fact that there's stairs, elevators, long walks, poor accessibility. Maybe we need to go into the attic. Maybe you need to go into the basement. Either way, it's going to slow down your job and is going to outweigh the standard allowance of time for your increments of your load. Now, as I just mentioned, increments, we charge in increments of quarters, starting with a minimum pickup, which is also called our 1/8 load. It is approximately 2 cubic yards, and then we charge in increments of quarters. So the next one is going to be a quarter truck, which is 4 yards, a half a truck is 8, 3/4 is 12, and a full load is 17 on our one trailer. But again, like I mentioned, that's going to want to alternate based on the size of your vehicle. So if you're just going to use a pickup truck, obviously it's going to be a lot less. And I wouldn't even do quarters. I would do a minimum pickup, maybe half and then a full load. If you have a smaller trailer, maybe do the same thing, a minimum half full load. If you have a larger vehicle, maybe consider doing eighths or even tenths, like some of the franchises do. It just helps break up those windows so that way you don't have a huge jump into the next size. It can also help you a lot with upsell. By telling the customer, hey, you're only half a cubic yard away from the next increment, which is only going to be a $25 increase. If you have anything else you may want to get rid of, because if we were to come back in the future, a standard cubic yard is closer to like 60 bucks. And that just encourages the customer to go quick look around, find one thing to add on. It makes you an extra 25 bucks. Now I'm going to real quick give you a example of pricing with actual numbers for the United States, and this is going to apply for pretty much most areas with the exception of most of California, New York, places like Seattle, some of your really high metro areas or high-end areas in general, especially for services. This isn't going to quite cover those numbers. You always want to confirm with your local competition. But a minimum pickup for a 1/8 load is usually 2 to 3 cubic yards. Most people charge between 75 and 150. A quarter load could be anywhere from 3 to 5 cubic yards, and that could be between $200 and $300. A half a load of 6 to 8 cubic yards could range anywhere from $350 to $475. A 3/4 truck load, which is 9 to 12 cubic yards, could range anywhere from $500 to $600. And a full load of 13 to 16 cubic yards could range anywhere from $650 to $800. Now, if you have a larger vehicle, this is where you may want to divide it up into 2 truckloads depending on the overall size, or charge by cubic yardage strictly and don't even worry about doing increments. The last thing you want to do is tell a customer, hey, I have a 25 cubic yard box truck and our full load price is $1,700. They're going to hear that $1,700 and say, that is fucking crazy. 1-800 Got Junk charges $750. Why am I going to almost more than double your cost? Oh, well, our truck is way bigger. They don't care. They don't understand that number. They hear that high price tag. It is a very common thing. So if you have a vehicle that's at least over 24 cubic yards, I highly recommend you say, hey, our truck can fill 2 trucks. and we charge the normal 12 cubic yard increments, but you have the availability to take 2 loads at once. A couple of franchises I know do that, and it's a way easier process than trying to describe a larger capacity of that amount and trying to say this is going to justify the price, because it most often is going to get lost in translation. Now with the extra time, we have an hourly price, but we can charge it in 15-minute increments by making that hourly price something that's divisible by 4. For example, we do about $120 an hour, which means I can charge $30 for every 15 minutes. So if I just have a flight of stairs I have to go up and I know it's going to take an extra 15 minutes, I'll just charge an extra 30 versus 120. We're just trying to be fair to our customers. I know some people that just charge a 1 hour flat rate, and if they get done faster, more profit for them. I don't personally agree with that. It's entirely up to you though as an owner. But I would say the average hourly price is about 100 to 150 for most companies. Now for hazardous pay, we charge a little extra to reimburse us for PPE, which is protective equipment. That could be a hazmat suit, goggles, respiratory mask, gloves, booties, anything that you need to buy for yourself to protect yourself from the outside environment. And that could be for if there's mold, or if there's bed bugs, even if they've been treated, or if there's heavy insulation coming down from a ceiling that's not covered. There's a lot of different things that apply that you want to protect yourself from, especially hoarder houses. You don't know what's going on in a hoarder house because half the time you can't see it. No pun intended. In addition to the PPE equipment, we will also usually tack in an extra percentage of the job. So let's say we quoted that job for $1,000. We'll usually tack in an extra 10 to 20% of the job. And that's more of a retainer to help us out in case we were to potentially get affected by that situation. It's a risk and a hazard for us to do it. We're agreeing to do it with the safety measures of PPE equipment, but the fact that something could potentially happen, way more so than just your everyday job, we're gonna take that into account. And we will explain that to a customer as well. Most times they understand it, some people argue it. At the end of the day, I will happily walk away from a job that I'm going to be charging a hazard fee for. If it means it may potentially affect me negatively, the money is not worth it. So we will tack that in extra. If they don't like it, we say, no problem. I recommend you call this company. And we're out of there in a second. But overall, that's honestly all there is to it. You charge by volume, you charge a little bit extra for time, or if you have construction debris, you may want to charge a little extra because it costs more money for you to get rid of stuff at the dump, and it is a more dense material, so it's usually going to weigh a little bit more than your standard household items would. And that's honestly, in my opinion, the most simplistic way to go about junk removal is charge by volume, make it work for your vehicles, charge a little extra time, and that's it. There's a lot of other things you can do. You can get really nitpicky with it. You can charge by items versus charge by load size. Whatever works for you that you understand and makes sense for your area is going to be your best bet. So it is a little dependent on where you are and what's around you, but for the most part, that should be good for the majority of the US. So if you guys enjoyed it, thumbs up the video. Check out the description for that other video. And if you're interested in that channel membership, that's also in the description. Hope everyone has a great holiday season, and we'll see you guys next year. Bye.